This could very well be what the next GTA game looks like. What's up everyone, welcome back to another GTA video. My name is Saintsfan, and today we're not actually in GTA. Although this world we are in is kind of GTA-esque. We're actually in the Unreal Engine 5. More specifically, the city sample from the Matrix demo that I believe was released a couple of months ago on the PS5. Well, recently it actually was uploaded to PC, and that is what we are in right now. But how does that relate to GTA 6? Well, about a week or two ago, a pretty notable GTA insider tweeted this. The bottom part is what's translated. He says, obviously the new version of the graphics engine of Rockstar games will be used for GTA 6, and it is likely to be quite incredible. He says he was able to get very positive feedback, and we shouldn't be disappointed on this point. We're talking about an engine ahead of its time. He also tweeted, I don't want to go too far because I've only heard echoes and I couldn't see it with my own eyes, but apparently the goal is to outperform the Unreal Engine. They can do it. We'll see if they can do it. And that is why we are in the Unreal Engine 5 city sample. Because this is actually probably one of our best looks as to what GTA 6 will look like. And as we go through this, you'll see there are some like graphical bugs and some issues. Obviously, again, this is a sample. This isn't like a full game or anything. I'm sure this was made very quickly, where GTA 6 is being made over the course of like 8 years. But this is really, really interesting. And again, if you wanted to actually go through this yourself, I believe if you're on PlayStation, there's a demo or something available. If you just look in the store for the Matrix demo, you could probably find something. And if you're on PC, you can actually find this in the Epic store. You have to go to the Unreal Engine. It does require a bit of tweaking to actually get it to work, but if you do get it to work, this is absolutely beautiful. And there's this, I gotta get away from these stupid police cars, man. Just like in GTA, the ambient sounds are just annoying. But this is such a cool demo, and it's cool for a number of reasons. Number one, it's actually pretty playable. I mean, granted, the FPS you can see in the middle right, there's a little graph, or not a graph, but it's not the highest FPS. I mean, we're only at like 30, 40 FPS. I'm running this at 2K resolution with everything fully upgraded, although we do have DLSS on somewhere in here. We have DLSS on quality. If I turned it off, I think it makes it, I mean, you can see up here, 26. We're not playing at 26 FPS. I know GTA was played at that on the PS4, but we're not going to do that. Quality seems to be good. I can play it at 40, 45 sometimes, but we can go into first person here, and we can just check this city out because this is actually sick. One of the other reasons this is so unique is it actually gives you that city feel that I feel like was actually missing from GTA 5. I mean, when you go into the city, Los Santos, you don't have these giant buildings. You don't have, like, if we I think it's X to fly here. If I go up, you just don't have these. I mean, look at this. This is insane. The giant buildings. It's almost Cyberpunk 2077-esque in that. But this is something you would expect if for GTA 6. I mean, GTA 4 had a little bit of this, being the fact that it was in New York, but GTA 6, if it is supposed to surpass this Unreal Engine, I feel like you definitely should be expecting something of this scale, at least for the city part, assuming it is in Vice City. And this city sample, if we go up a little higher, is actually quite big. If I just zoom out, I mean, you can see, I don't think everything is playable. I think some of those further parts, I don't think you can really go over there. But this main island, there's that city part, there's this big city part. It's a pretty decent sized area. And I know Vice City, I mean, I haven't been to Miami, but I'd imagine Vice City is, or Miami is not like this. This reminds me almost a lot of like a New York, which is probably maybe what it's based off of. But again, the scale is definitely something I am very impressed with in this demo. And it is something GTA 6, I think, should have. If you had an actual city that felt, I mean, this feels like an actual city. And it just makes walking around here so much cooler and so much more epic. Imagine we're in GTA 6 or GTA 6 Online and we're just walking down the street here. This looks incredible. We have all these skyscrapers which actually have pretty decently unique interiors just from the outside here. As well, of course, the lighting. I mean, that's something that's a pretty big given. The lighting is incredible, but that's, you know, something to be expected in the Unreal Engine. We can actually drive vehicles in this as well, which is kind of cool. Another reason it's very similar to GTA now. In first person, I made the FOV very wide, which is why you see my eyeballs. But that's why we shall go into third person. And I mean, look at this. It's almost, it looks like some of those mods you find for GTA 5. Now, I will say the driving and even the movement is a little clunky, but that's, again, to be given the fact that it's a sample. It's just a tech demo, basically. One of the other things that I've noticed, especially comparing it to GTA 5, is that this world, even though it is just a tech demo, it does feel a lot more alive than the GTA worlds. Take these parking lots, for instance, as we just crash into a meter. Take these parking lots, though, for example. There are so many more cars in this little tech demo than you would find in a GTA 5 lobby or GTA 5 just free mode in general. I mean, it doesn't matter which city you're in, but cities are pretty populated. And to see a full parking lot, it gives the illusion that there's just so many people in the city. And that is the one thing that GTA 5 lacks. And again, if their version, the next version of their engine, Rockstar's engine, Rage 9, is supposed to be better than what we're seeing here, this is what we could be expecting. Actual, like, full populated cities. Another thing, the sound is incredible. When we're underneath the highway, you can hear when the cars go over. Oh, the sound is immaculate. Even smaller parking lots, I mean, just like outside of these stores, which by the way have incredible looking interiors. I mean, it looks nice. I mean, it just looks like something you'd sort of expect to see. But even in these smaller parking lots, again, it's full because we're in a city, you know, and that's the one thing I really, really like about this little tech demo. And even though the driving, just going back to that, even though the driving is a little clunky, it just is so cool to drive around this world. I think if I hit O, you can see that's the map. It's quite big. I mean, I don't know, you know, if you want to compare it to a GTA game, what it compares to size-wise. But yeah, that's a pretty big map that you can mess around with on this in this demo. One of the cooler parts about this demo is that you can actually change the sun. Like, you can move it around so you can check out, you know, what it looks like in different lighting conditions. And I mean, any of the lighting conditions look great in this engine. You can see, if you back out here, when it's cloudy, this looks great. You do have some spots that are more lit up. I'm assuming based off of like the cloud positioning. If we change it, whoops, if we change it to another time, I mean, you can just see, it just looks so good. Which does get me very, very excited for GTA 6. We can also turn the time of day to night. And I will say it is a little buggy with some of these lights, like the flashing ones. They look quite ridiculous. I don't know if that's probably one of the settings, maybe like bloom or something that's on. But one thing that is kind of neat, especially with this nighttime lighting, is that the majority of the lit up areas are actually near the lights, like they're down on the streets. You can see up there at the top of these giant skyscrapers, there's no light, so of course it's going to be very dark. That's something, I mean, just great lighting is something that can really make a game even better than it is. And that, of course, again, what we should all be hoping for if they're trying to surpass this in GTA 6. But let's go down to the street level, because of course the street level, I mean, it looks nice at nighttime with all the beautiful lighting reflections and everything. I mean, if you compare a scene like this to GTA 5, it's night and day. This right here actually does look like you're in a city, a major city at nighttime. Where in GTA, it just, I don't know. It doesn't look anywhere near realistic, which I guess maybe Rockstar wasn't going for realism, which is to be expected. But if this level of technology is here now, then this is definitely what Rockstar is trying to push towards. But it's just so cool to see the different levels of the buildings with different interiors again. The scale is something, again, that I truly think is what makes this so cool. Another one of my favorite features about this tech demo is actually like the individual models of a lot of the smaller things. I mean, you can see here, and this is something that's not necessarily engine based, but I mean, it was well done in this little tech demo. So you'd imagine GTA 6 would be on the same level, if not better. But it actually does look like this stuff is in an actual city. I mean, this is very worn down. You can see there's even some rust on it. A lot of like the trash cans and stuff, and even the garbage on the ground. It looks real. You can go to some of these benches as well. They look like they've been worn down. A lot of it is just really, really well done models. Even like the light poles. I mean, look at this light pole. It's got markings like you would see in real life. And this is what I am hoping we get in GTA 6. If the goal is to beat Unreal Engine 5, which is a very big goal, mind you, because this is a great engine. There's the reason a lot of games use it. But if Rockstar's goal is to beat this, I mean, that's actually good news for GTA fans. Because, I mean, just look at what we're looking at now. This looks awesome. And if they can make their game even better than this, GTA 6 might be the greatest game of all time. I might be too early to say, but if they can achieve what they want to, it sounds like, then man, we're gonna be having some good times in the next couple of years. Look, we even have bugs like in GTA. I've seen that happen in GTA 5 before. As we just fly over, the interstate in this particular little tech demo was another thing I was really impressed about. I mean, it's something that feels like a legitimate interstate through a city, which is crazy. Especially it connects the main part of the city over there to this other main part of the city over there. And if we just stay up here, I mean, you can just see, even looking at a bunch of the map here, again, look at all the cars that are just parked. Even the traffic, I mean, it's not maybe as densely populated as, you know, real life, but there probably are some limitations. But yeah, I mean, this is incredible. It looks so good, and hopefully it does come across. Hopefully it's not like too choppy. I mean, we're above 30 FPS most of the time, so hopefully it does come across good in the video. But I mean, look at this. It just looks so good. The fact that this is the state of gaming going forward, I mean, that I think is very, very exciting. Even if you're not, you know, maybe looking forward to GTA 6, which I don't know how you couldn't be, because of course, I mean, GTA 6 is gonna probably blow everything out of the water. But I mean, even if you're just looking forward to other games, I mean, just the fact that this is what's possible. I mean, this is insane. The lighting here between the big city, or between the big skyscrapers, is beautiful. I mean, this is awesome looking. I cannot wait to see this in a GTA game. Now, this isn't necessarily GTA related, but one of the cooler things you can do in this is you can actually spawn different vehicles. So we're in a garbage truck. Is that car back there just disintegrated? Got Thanos snapped? But we are in a garbage truck. They have a bunch of other ones. You can get a little taxi here too. I have, I think, a different build than what you can get from the Unreal Engine store, if anyone was wondering. That's why I have this little menu with the DLSS. But I'm hitting Shift 4 and Shift 5. That's for the sports car. Shift 1 for the garbage truck. It's quite ridiculous. Yeah, as it just falls on our head. Cool. So there is some cool stuff in this little demo, but I guess the main takeaway is just the city itself, not the other little stuff, like the city and the lighting and the fact that it's as big as it is, running as well as it does. And I didn't even mention this. I was talking about all of the parked cars and stuff, but I didn't realize initially I only had this stuff at 50 for all of it. So that's what we've been taking a look at. But I mean, you can see if I just bump this up, there's a lot more of the crowd, a lot more of the traffic. Well, maybe not more of the traffic in this particular scene, but there definitely is a lot more parked vehicles if you crank those numbers up, which does in turn make the FPS go down slightly. But just to be able to see such an alive city with all the parked cars and walking people is just incredible. Again, I've said that word probably so many times, but it truly is. I mean, just look it up. I mean, it doesn't feel real. It almost feels too real, maybe, actually. I guess maybe bringing it back to GTA. Just imagine a GTA Online in a world like this, where you can actually get like a penthouse way up there at the top of that building. Maybe this is the bank that you heist, right? I mean, I don't know what it is, but like, just imagine a world that looked this good, but with all the GTA Online features. You'd probably see an Oppressor Mark II flying through the sky. Imagine all those streaks up there instead of birds. They were PvP people. It'd be chaotic, but it would be cool as hell. And one thing I do just want to reiterate, this is a tech demo. It's not an actual game. So if you do go ahead and play it or go through it, or even you're watching this, you're like, oh, it doesn't look like GTA, because it's not. And my thought process is, let's just imagine this was a GTA. We'd have NPCs that were maybe a lot more alive than the ones in this thing. I mean, this poor guy, he's just walking. You know, there'd actually be a lot more things happening, like cops and stuff and other little events going around. There, of course, wouldn't just be this one giant city, especially if it was in Miami. It's not gonna really look like this. There'd be a lot more wilderness too. You'd see a lot more greenery and stuff. But even with that being said, just the lighting, the scale, what they've achieved with this tech demo is something that is very, very impressive, because very rarely do you actually see something like this. And the fact that this is pulled off and that you can actually apparently play this on a PS5, a console, that is huge. So this is definitely very exciting times for GTA fans going forward. If there's any updates on any of this stuff, of course, I will let you guys know, so hit that subscribe button. But this is such a beautiful scene. One that we can only hope is in GTA 6. Thank you guys for watching. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA content. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.